The show is live and interactive on social media. So if you get messages, send me the number there your screen top +233 550 585 on Twitter. If you leave me a message with the hashtag FMGH Football Made in Ghana. My name is Fentio Tahir Fentio. So plenty things to talk about. Before I introduce my guest, first and foremost, what I want to do is say I want to update you on some few things. So first and foremost, Black Stars are in town. Yesterday, then train. By yesterday, I mean Tuesday. Then go Cape Coast. Then train in the evening. The match is on Friday at 7 p.m. against Ethiopia. Then Monday they go fly. Monday they go play South Africa. So I should say after the game on Friday, Saturday no, then they go South Africa. They go train Sunday. Then Monday then go play against the Bafana. The problem. They say plenty of the players who they play for England after the game against Ethiopia, they don't if you go to South Africa because South Africa did the UK red list inside, red list countries inside COVID-19 red list. So it means that all the players who they play for England, they come to Ghana, play the game against Ethiopia for Cape Coast, therefore go straight back to England. All of us travel to South Africa for the South Africa game. So because of that, ZK Akono made so many other new changes. So first of all, he called up some new players. The local player, he called Fatah Mohammed of House of Oak, my captain right back. Mostly also because the other right back he called, and he hit. So you know if he goes. So if I replace him with another right back, he called Ashikwe too. Samuel Ashikwe, the under 20 boy, great Olympics, wonderful fullback as well. So into the camp, come play. Where he called some two players from Germany. If I talk, he got some two players for the second tier in Germany. They make them come play some. Where he called Joseph Edu, also from Celta Vigo. Then he called Yayabua from Wisla Krakow in Poland. Yayabua, he go thanking stars because the goal he scored the weekend. You know, that's a bit the Pele kind of goal he scored. You know. Make the whole Twitter was I would say, hey, this boy for the blaster. Then they call him. He good though. Yeah, social media gets results. Make nobody tell me say the goal is scored on the video. He make crowds no influence his decision. So into the day inside. Where surprisingly Jeffrey Schlupp today inside. We don't see him for the list inside. We don't hear anything. All we see is say Jeffrey Schlupp they camp. So he did there. So then they train and they prepare for the game. We'll try and see what will happen there as far as the Black Stars camp is concerned. But the game is on Friday. If you want to go watch out for Cape Coast, kick-off be 7 p.m. the evening game. Anyway, so now make I introduce my guest. First one, of course, this man, he go roam America. So right now, he didn't already say, brother, if I go home, then go help your people. So Eddie Mensah is the managing director for Right to Dream Football Academy here in Ghana. He'll be my first guest. Eddie, please, I beg, come here. The way you make you stand here, give me. Thank you. The way you jog there. Check like, I beg, go back small, give me here. Go back small. Here. Then face.
I did that correct
one.
All right.
Yeah, okay. Everything. That picture you here.
Charlie, you go make a ball.
I forget to. You see, I think we say you did America there. You spent like what, 15 years, 20 years, 25?
30 years. 30 years.
3-0.
3-0.
La ilaha illallah.
It's not like that.
30 years.
30 years. That time I left now be like 16.
You got that? Oh wow. Wow. That be long time.
Be long time.
How the pigeon know disappear? You don't take chop beggar.
You see my stomach, you see the beggar's child.
The beggar.
No. As we did that, they come once. The way people do today, when you go feel sick on them. So. Yeah.
Oh, Charlie, but 16 years there. So it's some days I do.
Charlie.
Some people they go and if they come out, they talk. We know they hear.
Well, if I start speaking a certain way, then you realize I've been there for a long time.
Oh, but you force. Part of you. Yeah. Charlie, welcome back home.
Thank you.
You know, say right now, I mean, most of us, because they read your profile, you say then you be head of schools for some for Charlotte.
Yes.
Charlotte be like it basically be like me, my city. Because I go to school for Elon.
Oh, okay.
So they are
my neighbor.
No, family member they come
out. Yes.
So listen. The decision to come back home to manage Right to Dream Academy after 30 years in America, it be big deal.
Very big deal.
So, like, what's going into a decision? Do you remember the conversation you had the first time?
Yeah.
I mean, make it talk to me about
It be long process.
Okay.
So almost anybody with the America, almost any Ghanaian with the America, if you talk to them, if you dig that, they will tell you, so one day, won't go house, right? But behind you will come house.
Yes.
Well, what plan you get, what business you get, what living you want to do for here. So me, most of my life, it be education where I did inside.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a field footballer.
Yes.
You see, right, the dog. I try to play ball small, but the school
you play some before,
small.
Where injury kill your career.
Make you call him injury. Make you call him injury. Injury. Injury or lack of talent. Either way. But so education will take me go. Right. So after all the degrees and working, you are in America helping people's children.
Yes.
Meanwhile, the need is here too. So all this time, you're trying to think, how can we figure out a way to come and participate? People are doing big things in Ghana. People are trying to move the country. Ghana football is improving. How can we come and participate? So I come visit Right to Dream like around 2012, 2013 that way. Me and I found out with the talk, just 1-2. So over the years, I had tracked them. So around 2016, 17, or maybe around 18 that way, where we started discussing, okay, maybe it's time to start thinking about it. So the first time he asked me, I said, oh, Charlie, I don't make ready.
He beats you first.
I said, I'm not sure.
Okay.
I get some things I won't finish first. But then after a while, the edge day, right? You want your soul just don't feel right. Like you for come house. So after some 1 or 2 conversations and the direction that the academy is going, right? Because the football academy is about them child.
Of course.
But the one way they do football and school and character all together at the same time, there's only one. So once that call came, then I said, okay, make we come out.
I mean, listen, we all make happy. We all make proud of you. Say you come back house, because the first time I see the news, then I excite, because I mean, Right to Dream, we know say the founder be British, so then they train Ghana, but to bring one our own, say make it come manage, and they feel, they give you a certain sense of belonging. I say, okay, you know what, okay, maybe this guy, they come, like he really they understand the culture, understand these boys better. So it'd be amazing to say you come back to Right to Dream. As you come back to Right to Dream, I mean, you talk, say you visit more times than things, but as you can't start work, what be your impression of the place?
So the first thing I could talk to say, the people when they watch football, we know this talent day.
Yes.
But you can know it in theory.
Yes.
And then you come the ground, come see the boys, and you can say, okay. Because I see ball. I play for America small with the but that talent day. So the only thing we be missing be the opportunity.
Okay.
So my impression for Right to Dream right now be saying the students when they come, the determination where they take come, the zeal where they take come, where you see that my mind, it not be just football they won't play. If you give them opportunity, say, okay, Charlie, expand your dream, do something different from football, they will do that on top of the football. And so an academy will say, okay, we go open the opportunities for you. School day, we will talk to you about how your character will grow you, so you too could become a better footballer, a better student. So my first year impression there, we say the talented students and the dedicated staff. The staff we did, Charlie, from the kitchen staff to the pitch maintenance to the teachers, to the coaches, to the scouts, everybody. Dedicated, fully dedicated to the students.
I mean, for the Right to Dream, like they see some visuals from the screen there. The kiddies,
my man.
Like I've been there before. It be full campus.
Yes.
It be full campus where the facilities for there. If you look at the quality of the pitches, the last time I go there, I count up to 8 pitches. 8 pitches,
yeah.
You still get 8 pitches for them.
8 pitches, 4 full-size pitches, and then 4 small-size. So yeah.
Wow. Talk to me about the structure of the school. How many kiddies you get, from what level to what level, that sort of thing. So right now we get about 100 students. Boys and girls. Both male,
boys and girls. We start around 10 years old. So that way we define them. By 10 then you come in. So on a typical day, like let's say you be 10 where you come there, morning time you either train or go prep.
Oh.
So some teams they train with, some teams they prep. And after that, breakfast. After breakfast, school. From school up until 3 o'clock, where there's lunch. And then afternoon time, those who no train the morning time, then they go train afternoon time. Those who train morning time, then they go prep. Then dinner time, and then some relaxing time. And then, the cycle continues.
Wow. So if you take them from age 10, it means they come out, they start from class 1, no? So they start from where?
Around class 6, yeah. We have a bridge system, so we do like year 6.
Almost.
You start around year 6, then go, yeah.
Oh, okay.
But say Ghana, if you go, Sabi, like if you go some small village where you go find some 10-year-old boy, even if you take them go class 1 or class 2 or class 3,
it'd still be ideal because they're not really learning anything yet.
The people where they play ball, they try no school.
Yeah.
So it means we for start almost at the beginning. Train them. But again, because the zeal there, because the hard work there, because the staff is so dedicated, the progress you see within a short period of time is very, very serious. Because
it's very obvious, because the kiddies we write to him, they churn out in the past. And me, I'm not even going to talk about Kudus or Kamal Din. They go back to Akam and Japan them,
Majid
worries them, because these guys be like the pioneers of the right. If you speak to any of them, there's something different about them, because them all they be more mature, more composed, and more sensible, really. Generally, the outlook on life it's completely informed.
It be so.
So the kiddies, how you they get them? Like, where you they get them from?
Okay, all right. So
if I get my kiddie like this, I go just drive to Kotoko,
drop them. No, I beg, don't do so.
So what be there?
So we do trials. Right now, just today at the academy right now, some trialists.
Yeah, did you tell me there's some trials?
So we go Tamale, we go Bolga, we go Techima, Central, Accra. Last week now we did Nima. So we publish the trials for our social media top. Then you go see, okay, we do trials for this area. If you play coach team, it means they help. Because it be the coach team, so we invite.
Of course.
Then we go do the trials, then we go select.
The players.
So they may be out of, last year I think we see more than 2,000, 3,000 players.
Wow. Where you pick how many?
Then we pick about 60 to bring to the camp for 1 week. Then we pick about 20.
That's
some kutwa. So let me say the selection process is very, very
rigorous. Yeah.
But because we are trying to get the best of the talent, right? But if you come see the selection where they do it not be just your ability to play the ball, or your ability to be a good student, but also your behavior, your character, your zeal, your intensity, your grit, all those small things. So by the time you come, you are bringing a lot to the table, and then we have a lot to add, and then you will turn into the David Akam and the Kudus and
unbelievable. All right. Right now, my second guest make ready, so I go bring him on. Didi Dramani.
I'll be the appetizer.
Yeah, you be the appetizer.
Main course.
Right now, the main course they come. Because, ladies and gentlemen, Masud Didi Dramani be my second guest. Coach, please make your way here.
Hey, Tyro.
Yeah, please, thank you very much. No, but the two of you for switch. You go, Coach come here.
Coach come, I beg, we come there.
Maybe we are switching to find a link.
I like him, like, Coach. Welcome.
Thanks.
My director don't tell me, for switch again. Okay, make you. If I'm director tell me say you go switch, you switch. Coach, welcome.
This will be a serious coach.
Coach, have you tell if you pigeon show?
Switching everything all over.
Who go speak pidgin?
I
should say you go better fast.
No,
Coach them big words.
No, so I go try speak. Tyro, good to see you.
Coach, yes, good to see you. Coach and I, we go way back, way back.
Wow.
We met the time they did Kotoko.
Oh.
Nice. Then I did Kumasi that time. So coach there. Then we have been in touch since. The last time I see him, I've come for Egypt. I interviewed him for like 1 hour for there. We had a really good chat. But coach, welcome back home.
Yeah.
You room chair for the last how many years? Since 2016.
Still at the room.
Yeah.
Yes.
You've been at FC Northland.
Sure.
Assistant coach there, or coach. Tell me what I don't really want to even waste time. Tell me about the experience you had there, because it's rare for Ghanaian coaches to get the opportunity.
Yes, and it's a production of different approaches of the game.
Okay.
What we have here is also a unique potential that we carry here.
Yeah.
And then what you find in Europe also is very unique. So if you have a blend of these two components, you can be assured that you create an environment that is more unique and very diversified in terms of the ways things happen. Yeah. And really, there have been a lot to pick from this blend. Yeah. You know, it shows that we try to create an African European identity. Okay. So you can understand how these two blends, you know, will shape and then mold itself, and the bond has really been very, very phenomenal. And then it is something that people come around to try to examine and then to understand what this uniqueness is all about. Even though we are in Denmark, but our cultural values and then our behaviors around the organization is very unique and they're very different from the rest of the and so people come around and they want to really see, and sometimes it's difficult to understand, you know, to experience this is because it's more practical, it's more actions, you know, on the ground, and it's all about bonding the human entity in our model of football. Yeah.
I mean, you're back home now, obviously, as head of football at the Right to Dream Academy. We'll have a long chat about what you intend to do, the things you're doing there, and all of that. But since we started on the nonchalant front, let me just finish with that. How many Ghanaians are at nonchalant the time you were there? I mean, that's -1 now. But when you were there,
they were quite. We had initially I met Abdul Mumin.
Yes.
I met Ernest Asante.
Yes.
I met Goswe. I met Collins. Collins, and then did I mention Abdul Mumin? Then I met
you mentioned Mumin already.
So Collins left immediately when I assumed, you know, proper duties. But when I visited them in 2017 in October, on just for observational purposes. Yes. These were the guys who were present. And then it was only Asante, Ernest Asante, he was the only one that was more prominent
when you first got there
and playing. And so when I assumed full responsibilities of a transitional coach, my main duties were to do as much as possible to facilitate the integration and adaptation of the African players in this ever, primarily from those from Right to Dream. And you know, Right to Dream is very universal when it comes to, you know, production of the African players in our environment. Yeah. We have Ivorians and we have Ghanaian bonds, and so in that process, then the narrative changed again. We had Mohamed Diomande, we had Mohamed Kudus, we had Ibrahim Sadiq, we had Abu Francis, we have Clinton Entry. So we had this production, you know, also coming up, and so as I speak now, we have another chunk of production in the presence of Lasso Koulibaly, an Ivorian, an 18-year-old, and we had Nagalo Adamu, a left centre back or a left a centre back, and then we have Simon Adingra. We have so these are all
who are all coming through now.
They are playing.
Yeah. Wow.
These are Maxwell Walazi, a Ghanaian.
Yeah,
you know,
Walazi,
yes, it's a centre back. He came into prominence last season, and he played a very huge role, you know, in our first team. And then he also plays a very key role in terms of our model of mentoring, you know, the young ones, because we allow the environment to mentor and then to create leadership as we go on. And it is all about behaviors and practices of people who serve in that environment.
Yeah. And it's a great thing that you mentioned that, because the Right Team has had a lot of very successful graduates in the past. But now with the partnership with Northland, it looks like that production line is even quicker than it used to be, because in the past it used to depend on other clubs, partnerships with Man City and all of that. Now you have a direct club that is patient enough for these boys and understand their talent. One of those people is Kudus Mohammed, obviously one of the most talented players in the Black Stars right now. I do remember him very clearly in the under-17. He looked labored. This kid he didn't look like he was up to any good in the under-17 level. In fact, people criticized his inclusion, I remember, in Ghana. But 3 years later, he is one of the best players in the Black Stars team. What do you make of his development?
I think that the most important aspect of talent development is the predators that you find, and the ability for developers to rely on players' evaluation based on what you predict the player to become. So if you have this behind your mind, and then you have players in your care, then you should be looking at where you are thinking about where to take them to, than just thinking about one match, and then you want to evaluate him, and then you want to make decisions, and then if you are not careful, then you become more negative than being positive, and then thinking about, and that is why it is important that once you are doing talent identification, the predictors are things that will enable you to be able to look into the future. That I think that in 5 years, in 6 years, this player will be here. So everything that you see in there, because it's normally not an event. It is always
a process.
If it is a process, then it means it needs time to be able to, materialize.
So you have to be patient.
You have to be patient, and then you have to be realistic in terms of your assumptions. You need to set realistic targets and appreciate what is going on around that time. Maybe physically the person is developing. Maybe tactically the person is developing. Maybe psychologically the person is developing. So what was it that you identified? What was it that you were predicting and then speaking about? So this becomes your guide in going forward. So you critically observe the player, and then you are able to say that yes, he's on the right path. He only needs more experiences in the processes. So for us, we were much aware that Kudus was a top talent.
From the very beginning, and no wonder you were patient with him, and the result is what we see now. He's moved to Ajax, and from the social media and from his first season at Ajax, it looks like he's a player that they value so much, and he models their jerseys.
I think, Tyro, this is one of the key aspects in FCN. We don't impose clubs on players.
Right.
We give players the opportunity to go to the environment and feel it. So he does not just go on one trip. He visits, various clubs, and then he will be able to, the environment will touch his heart, and then he will give it a smile. And once he gives it a smile, and then an offer comes, he might consider it. But we are not adamant in just saying that, this is what is coming. We give you the opportunity to sense the environment around.
You think Ajax is the perfect place for Kudus?
We try to facilitate where our players go because of the style of play. Because we educate from Ghana, we educate, and then in the future from Egypt, we will educate players. And the players' education is not the mandatory, supplementary education that we speak about, the book. But educating the player in terms of his choosing and then his career pathway in terms of football, the player is educated on so many football prerequisites in terms of the principles of play, in terms of game situations, in terms of relations and his individuality. Yeah. So if you have an individual quality, we don't kill it. We do as much as possible we can to be able to facilitate its development. Yeah. But we have to teach you how to relate in the game, because in the game is a school of, football, as I have said always, is a school of life. Yeah. School of life, because all these values that I just spoke about, these 4 values, if you relate it to life, it's the same. It's the same. Yeah. So if you have these values as a club's values within the style of play, then it tells that football itself is a school of life. Yeah. So it shapes the totality of that person to be able to fit in his environment and even beyond. Yeah. And so once we have all these principles and then game situations and relations, both in defense and in attack, and his own individual qualities, it is for us to make sure that these things at every time we have checks and balances that as we go on. At
the moment, you know this kid very well. You were there when he came in. You were there. You monitored every single thing. At the moment, he's not having it easy with injuries. And you're an ex-footballer yourself. You know how much psychological toll that can take on a player. Knowing Kudus, how do you think he's feeling right now? Do you think that he can come out of this still stronger?
Kudus he's been prepared, as I said. He's been educated in terms of all these aspects. I believe my CEO had already spoken about the main pillars of the organization. Our main pillars in the organization is looking at the football aspect, looking at the school aspect, and then looking at the character aspect. And character aspect has to do with other behaviors that will affect somebody in life, either positive or negative. And so we know that, and another very important aspect of our character development has to do with the reflective practice, which I know that he reflects, and then he knows that yes, this is the physical hazards of the sport. It comes that way. Unfortunately, in Europe, when you are injured, you are not at home. When you are injured, you are even working more than the one on the pitch. And then it's not like you are just working only physically, you are working mentally. Okay. Because you have the mental coaches and you have the psychologists. And then these are all working, and they are working and they're relating you into the sport in which you belong to. So you find out that he comes back and he's even a tougher person in terms of the game, because he will be given the task to have all his reviews of his games, to be able to look at areas that he himself would say that, oh, here I should have made this decision and that decision. So assuming you and him, who is more on the pitch now? Right. So you think that
he'll be fine.
He'll be fine. He's Abdul, as I affectionately calls him, he's a very tough person. Even though he's a person who has not experienced a lot of off-pitch activities, because mainly he's on the pitch most of the time. And then our environment takes care of our very young players in terms of their progression, both physically, mentally, and then technical and tactical. In the sense that Kamal, for instance, in the very past season, he played almost all our matches, minus the games that he served, suspension. Right. You know why? Because sometimes he spends more time in the gym than he finds himself on the pitch. So we invest in having him more on the gym with the sports science department than having us on the pitch with the coaches.
Interesting.
So he's more taken care of on his physical development and physiological development than just the technical and tactical aspects. Right. So sometimes 2 training sessions on the pitch, and then 3 training or 4 sessions or 20 minutes with a passing drill with the group, and then the rest of the 40 or 50 minutes he's in the gym. Yeah. Sometimes no player wants it, but he was conscientized to know that we want to invest so that you stay more on the pitch. And then he saw it. So tomorrow, if he has the opportunity of mentoring someone, a young person below him, he'll be able to tell that, look, when the physios and then the sports science people are telling you that eat this, don't eat this, sleep at this time, don't sleep, don't do this, don't go on the pitch. You are supposed to be, on in the gym, or you are supposed to come out and then do some running. He understands and he knows how the investment.
I just something brief on your FC Northland boys, and then we can move on to Right to Dream stuff. Kudus and Kamal Dean have made the biggest transfer news in the last, 24 months as far as Ghanaian players are concerned. Since you mentioned Kamal, let me just ask you one. Just how talented is that kid? How far do you think he can go?
You know, speed itself is a huge talent. Speed.
Yes. Being quick.
It stands on its own. And many of these parts are genetic. That you train people to become quicker, but you have people who comes out and already they have those
natural speed.
They have natural speed.
Yeah.
Kamal is quick, both with the ball and without the ball, and it is important to say that he's a top talent that can and then his progression too has been very good, from Right to Dream to FCN, and then FCN to Rennes. I think he made one of the best decisions, maybe as he's going on, to go to Rennes, because he needs consistency in his playing time. He played almost all the games.
That was his first game.
Yeah, perfect.
He scored on his debut. And what a goal that was.
And he scored many of these type from this angle. This is a special angle for him. Yeah, it's a special angle for him. This
is an angle he's trained on many times.
Yeah. I believe that after making this goal, he will reflect and then think about things that he's been doing in the Right to Dream and then in FCN. This position is he can still go in and then still finish in at the near post if he sees the goalkeeper trying to cheat. So
you expect him to in the future, for example, at this AFCON, you expect him to play a key role for Ghana?
I expect him to modestly get into the team.
That's interesting.
I think that he because he's a kid that has not had the opportunity of transiting from one youth team to the other and then to the other. Straight away, his first call-up was the Turkey Assemble. So a person of that kind doesn't know the culture, the culture in the Blasters environment, and so. But I know that the day and others will take care of him, and I know what the day is when it comes to mentoring people around. And I know CK,
generally what you're saying is that we need to be patient with him.
Of course. Exactly. He needs to be integrated, and then he gains adaptation. And when he gains adaptation in the team, he'll be unstoppable.
That's what you see, right?
You will see all these things.
Unbelievable. All right, Didi Dramani, head of football, Right to Dream Academy, Eddie Mensah, managing director, Right to Dream Academy. They'll be my guests today on the show. If you get any questions, make you send them. I'll go try ask them. But we finished the FCN conversation. We'll go take some shopping. When we come back, I'll go base Didi about what he's bringing to Right to Dream now. He knows all about the club. Then I'll go ask Eddie more about about Right to Dream, because honestly, a lot of people get interest for that. He said they are doing recruitment right now. So we'll try and get some dates from him and some locations where you go take your 10-year-old. If they finish them already, or maybe next year, you go try to see. But make you not go anywhere. Even with Didi, I still go be some about in time for Kotoko as well. Then we'll go do some Blasters conversation. We'll go talk about RTU. Me, I'm excited that RTU are back in the league. He's a former captain, if you didn't know, of RTU. So we'll go be some, those of you watching us in time, go be some about what the team needs to do to continue to stay in the Premier League and not go back. Make you not go anywhere. This be Football Made in Ghana. Welcome back. This is Football Made in Ghana, live on City TV. My guest today, Eddie Mensah, is the managing director for Right to Dream Football Academy. I'm here also with a very special guest, Mr. Masud Didi Dramani, former captain RTU, former coach Kotoko, former coach Black Queens, former coach Black Maidens, former assistant coach FC Northland. Attire. Didi attire. Make I read some messages. In fact, mostly questions, really, because if people are here, let people get questions give you. This one says, what's up, Fent? And your guests, please tell your guests, say, Charlie, I really love the work they do for Right to Dream there. Make them continue to give us more talents, so say them go raise the flag of GH higher. Hussein from Ashama Middle East sent that message. This message says, hi, I just joined the show. I would like to know the youngest age Right to Dream admits. I think you missed it. The youngest age was 10.
10, exactly.
10 years. So 10 years is the youngest age they admit there. That's from Oche inside Sekwa. My name is Husseini from Medina. Didi Dramani, we miss you. He says, I don't know if he's a Kotoko fan or I'm not sure, but he says they miss you. This message is from Mauli in Ayikuma. He says, Masud Didi Dramani is a pace setter in Ghana coaching. He's the best coach we have in Ghana at the moment. We are really proud of him. Welcome back home. Didi, welcome back home. Indeed, welcome back. I got another message here. This one is a question. Here. It says, please, where are the trials taking place? Okay, this is from Che in Ayikuma. So Eddie, you mentioned during the beginning that you were currently doing trials. Even Didi told me before he came that you were doing trials and all that. Is the national trial still ongoing, or this one is the one I Right to Dream? And what's the next opportunity where somebody go fee?
Oh, Charlie.
Yeah.
Okay, so,
Be anything.
I'm going to take out.
Yeah, no, if I take out,
okay. This be the one for this year.
Okay.
We already go all the small towns where we go.
Yeah.
So
you do the nationwide one?
We do the nationwide one finish. Now we come to the small one for Right to Dream.
Okay.
So if you stay in touch with our social media, maybe around January we might do another small one.
Okay.
And then we'll post the dates and the venues.
Okay.
But since I did here, I for tell people say we know the charge.
So if somebody contact you, say some money for Right to Dream, we know say it be fake.
We know they charge 1 CD. We know they charge 1 kobo.
Yeah.
If you see some website where they say come buy forms, no. They lie. It happened too many times. The fraud, they happen too many. Somebody take my picture, go make page.
So he has a club.
Somebody take my picture, go make page.
In the own club.
Yeah.
Wow. People make wild.
Oh, people make wild. So please spread the word. Say Right to Dream. We know the charge.
Yes.
Everything be free.
Yeah.
From the trials all the way through. So no forms. We know they sell forms. None of that. Just follow on our official social media. Then go see the dates. Usually we do go small parks. So like when we come Accra, we did Kawutidi Park. You know, we did Bolga, we did Tamale, Techima, Central. Right. So those days, as around January time, we go post them again. And you can bring your kiddie.
And to emphasize, he said it be important if your kiddie they play Coles football already.
Yes.
Because usually the trial be invitation of Coles football clubs.
If you be unaffiliated, it go be hard.
Yes.
That means we for do something special for you.
But
if you're already dating,
unless you are that special, unless you be Messi.
Messi self.
You know, sometimes it's difficult that you don't belong to a small group, and then you are already an okay player or a very good player on your own. It's really very difficult, unless of course maybe you belong to a school that that has football as a model within the school, you know, environment. Then the academy can be alighted, and then we can come and watch. But apart from that, we acknowledge what the grassroots, you know, does in terms of formation of small clubs, which we call Coles. You know, in Europe you don't find this because you only have community, you know, where the parent is always the first coach of the child. You know, but here we don't have, the parent is not the first coach of the child. The child really is so bonded with his coach, you know. Right. And so it's important.
I still remember my coach team.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course.
And it's very
Everybody
strong.
does.
So this be the key aspects that we want make people understand. Say belonging to a Coles club,
it makes sense.
Will open up the opportunities for you to have this.
It makes sense.
You know, my kids were not closer to Coles club because where I live, they far from town, and sometimes to take them to the place and back is a problem. So, you know, you have to assign someone to try to do this, because the fact that the person gets involved with the Coles club, there are so many things that these boys and girls learn.
And when you organize the Coles trials, you do for which age categories? So you do under 10, you do 10.
So we start around under 10. We try not to go any older than that.
Okay, so it's just like from 10.
You enter.
Oh.
So I mean, once in a long time, where Charlie, this particular boy be 12, but Charlie coach.
There's always an exception.
So one exception will say Charlie trying to be 13, but Charlie the way they play, the school they go, we go see him, then we go do. But most of the time, because we know say the training they need time. So you can't just come 15, 16. By the time I late.
Hey, Charlie. So Eddie, this one there. So I mean say, Piquet, you're giving me 11 So right to dream, if you are 11, cry out by age, it be only 10 and below. 10 years. Okay, interesting. All right, Coach, make I ask you one last question on right to dream, then we'll talk about some Kotoko blasters things and all that. Now you're back home, head of football. I shall say a lot went into it, into your return. You had conversations. Being assistant coach at Northland, you were also learning a lot. So that in itself was a big deal. To give that up and come back home to come and head this very famous academy, a lot must have gone into it. Coming back to Right to Dream, what's your main task here?
You know, the position speaks about football operations within the, and then also moving even beyond that aspect, and then to try to curve, you know, a culture and a way of life within the environment. And I think that our definition of a purpose-driven approach is really way beyond, you know, just the fact that we are grooming young boys and girls to play football, to go to school, and then to prepare them in terms of life. But I think that the human aspects of the project is something that is very dear to all of us, and it's something that is making FCN more unique in that European environment. And so it is an area that we think that it's important that we are able to get people connect and get them bond. And then getting them connect and getting them bond, what I want to say is that it is important that within just the football department, we are more connected, and then it is easy to communicate and then be very clear of what we want to do. Not just about the football elements that we are, you know. Remember when I was talking about the values, you know, the 4 values of our style of play, you know, it still sticks into what we do. So once you have this bond, you know, within your department, but your department alone does not take care of this boy and girl. There are other departments that are connected, even within your department. How connected are you with the yes, you know, how connected are you with them? How connected are you with the grounds person? And then when you move beyond that, then you are thinking that the teachers, you know, the administrators, the kitchen staff are all important to make these kudusis or these Kamals and then these Sadiqs and then Gosway and others, and Atajan and others. So you need to go. We see ourselves to even go beyond that aspect. So if we will go beyond that aspect, who are the ones to be able to transfer these thoughts for these young ones to be able to know that, okay, some of us are coming with from Abidjan, and then others are coming from Tamale. You know, how are they going to get connected and know that irrespective of where we are coming, it doesn't change us. We cannot become Ghanaians. We are Ivorians. The Ghanaians cannot become Ivorians, but we understand that we are Ghanaians, but we also appreciate that we are a unit in Right to Dream, that with one common objective.
And so everybody must work in
everybody
unison.
must work in unison. And then, so these are the thoughts, you know, in terms of bonding together.
Okay.
Having said this, Right to Dream FCN have always thought about the welfare of its, subjects or subordinates. And so you realize that even during the COVID period, when entrenchment was becoming the norm of the day, there haven't been any individual who sits and then is tortured by thinking that maybe we'll be retrenched in a certain way. No.
Yeah.
And so if the organization takes care of its
staff, its people.
So those of us who had different bodies within the organization, of course, we need to pay attention to the welfare of our staff, and then we need to get them open up. We need to have them to have an identity. We need to have them to belong. We need to have them to be responsible. We need to have them to take ownership of what we are doing, and then we need to practice in a way that we can all be reflective practitioners, which will push these boys and girls to be thinking likewise. We don't have to tell them do this, do that, but our actions and practices.
I go be ask more. I go be ask more.
Yeah,
like
Mr. I want to ask you, sir, because it's very related.
Okay, then ask me.
There's been a 120 million investment.
Okay, then don't ask me.
Into Right to Dream. Obviously, they give you people the capacity to expand, take more people, expand the scope, add more girls, what have you. What's the dream that you envisage for Right to Dream here in Accra when you look at all of that investment coming in? Because apart from the fact that if they give you the capacity to expand, it also comes with pressure.
Yes. So the pressure be say the quality for maintain the quality, right? So sometimes if you do something good now everybody they expect them. So because we get Kudus, then we get Kama, and if you go to the students, the school side, and you know this month alone, 13 students get a scholarship where they can't go US to go school, right? So once that you start to do that kind of successful things, then people they expect more. So the investment, me in particular, I feel the pressure. I say, okay, let me say before continue to improve, then they produce those kind of results. But at the same time, if you come on the word you go hear child be purpose. We hear them a lot. We talk about character, then we talk about purpose. Because we, in our philosophy, if you understand why they do something, then if you do them harder pass, if you just do them.
That's true.
So for the staff, we talk about purpose. Why are you here? What is your big reason for to say why you say you want to come join Right to Dream? Right?
Yes.
Even the small boy, the 10-year-old boy will come. We can ask him. In no way, you get some reason right now. 5 years from now, maybe you'll get another reason. But once you understand, say, oh, this be why I come. Okay, Charlie, want to know the house. So my main goal be say I for go do this, or me I won't be something. So right, that purpose, you know, even though they talk about money like we just investment on the facilities, but they increase our ability to say, okay, what kind of purpose things where we go teach the people make them understand. Then the investment in energy to the camp. Right? So as somebody they do the money investment.
So all of it has to connect.
All of it has to connect. So you see that on the school side, you know, the students they succeed big ways. And then on the football side too, then the success they come. But the pressure they be true. You feel them. But because my boss here go tell us they will be servants. Right? The whole reason we want to do, I'm saying we want help. So even as you feel the pressure, because you know why you are doing it, then you feel okay. Exactly.
Interesting. Didi, I go base you some very quick fire questions because if we want talker, we go fit talker for like 2 hours. For another 2 hours. But they don't give us extension. What time they go?
You say quick fire. Yeah, you go fit do quick fire.
Quick fire. No, Didi, this one for questions like 30 seconds each.
Pregnant questions. And then he wants a answer.
From a layperson is simple.
Just like quick one.
I hope so.
Kotoko, you spent 3 years there. You win back-to-back Premier League titles. When you look back at what is happening now at Kotoko, what do you make of the situation?
I think that is looking at things from a retrospective, point of view. When you are able to go back and then see what you did before, how things went out, then you'll be able to forge ahead.
Yeah.
I think that they need to put in place mechanisms which can bring about some checks before making huge decisions. Because before you sack a coach, you need to be very objective. You need to be very aligned, and the communication and everything need to be done well so that everybody will support the idea. Like it happened in Chelsea. Sacking of coaches sometimes can be positive, sometimes can be negative. You see that what happened in House of Oak, so many coaches within the year. It happened, and then everybody is clamoring for Samuel Boidu. He came, and then he had the opportunity of bringing some few players to beef up the team, and then things went. But you have to also acknowledge that the ones that had worked had put in place something, because the team wasn't so bad in that moment. Okay. And so when you come, it's easy to add up. But when you come and then you see what happened in Chelsea also, Thomas came in. He didn't change any materials. It was the same materials. But that one was not. But the person comes with a special energy, which energizes the whole squad to be able to.
He's not going back to Kotoko. No, maybe not.
After you are back in the league, it's a happy moment for everybody, and especially for yourself. Yeah. What must they do to not go back?
I think that it stands from the same situation. They have been there before. They have been relegated twice since we were born. Fortunately, the periods that I played in RTU, we didn't envisage this once. They have been out twice. It means that there were things that didn't go on well. Things have changed. The dynamics of football has totally changed. Yeah. They need to look at the right people who can run their affairs. You see that sometimes when you use the bulldozers on the creating of a new road, when they finish the road, what happens? Do they allow the bulldozers to go on the same? What do they do? They'll put it on the truck and move it. Right. Or else if you allow it to go on the road, what happens?
Interesting analogy. Black Stars are going to AFCON. You have been a scout before. I was with you in Egypt in AFCON 2019, round of 16, boom, we were out. What's your feeling about this squad? Do you think that we can end that drought? Right now, 40 years, Charlie.
In football, it doesn't matter the age. What matters is the experiences that you accumulate as you go. Someone can be 15 years and then doing well because the experiences he has within the 15 years of his football activities might be huge than someone who is 40 years and then has not had those experiences. So in football, normally is sometimes difficult when you add age and then you make an assertion. But I think that the team has been scouting very well around, for
the talent, for the
talents,
right.
And then the other aspect is to build a team, and that's the process of building a team. Building a team has to go with so many attributes. You have to look for intelligent ones. You have to look for creative ones. You have to look for workers. You have to look for team leaders.
So you think we are on the right path?
And then I think that we are on the right path. Unfortunately, there's no time for you to try something, And then we are lucky we have many of these boys who are playing in the 5 top leagues in Europe. Okay. So when he's playing and he's active, when he comes, get him there, and then then gradually things will be better.
Thank you very much, Didi. It's
pleasure.
been an absolute pleasure. Eddie as well, an absolute pleasure. My name is Fento Tahir Fento. We'll do this again. Don't worry, we get a special feature coming. We'll go to Right to Dream and try to do a special feature on them. Until then, you take care of yourself and bye-bye.